What's good? It's your boy, the urban legend, K to the motherfucking bird, KGUSA representative all day, in the building. And today, man, I'm gonna bring y'all some facts, not fiction. Gonna be how I got a feature with the legendary hip hop artist, Keith Murray. If you don't know who Keith Murray is and you've been living under a rock for the last 15 to 20 years in the music game, Keith Murray is a legendary rapper, man. Legendary. He was a member of the Def Squad, which was a group formulated by Erick Sermon, and that group consists of Erick Sermon, Keith Murray, and the legendary Redman. You know what I mean? Legendary hip-hop group, you know what I mean? They put in a lot of work in this game, you know what I mean? And, you know, if you know Keith Murray music, you know his music was always fun. His style was always on some lyrical shit. You know what I mean? He always had a lot of style, a lot of charisma, a lot of energy with his shit. You know what I mean? He had a lot of big records out, you know, in the 90s, early 2000s, shit like that. You know what I mean? He a legend in the game, though. He put in a lot of work. You know what I mean? If you know his music or you really know his vibe, he got a couple of big records I'm going to give a shout out to right now that you need to go look up if you haven't heard them yet. One of them is called Get Lifted, and that song was on a lot of movie soundtracks. I think it was on the How High the movie soundtrack, and it was on a lot of other shit. It was on the Half Baked soundtrack, Dave Chappelle shit. You know what I mean? It was on a lot of big shit, you know what I mean? And then he had that song called Badonkadonk, you know what I mean? That used to be a saying for girls with a fat ass. I mean, it's kind of funny niggas used to really say that. That's some like, I don't know, it's just some country New York shit, I would say, but Badonkadonk was one of his big songs, and I think Candy Girl, something like that. He had a song called Candy Girl, something like that. You know what I mean? He had a lot of big features with like LL Cool J on the original I Shot You, not the Who Shot You, because the Who Shot You came afterwards, and he was on the original Who Shot You that dropped with Biggie, you know what I mean? He was on that shit, the original version, but I guess because of all the shit going on at that time, like, his verse got taken off that shit. You know, he ain't want no smoke with Pac. And I don't blame him for that shit, man, because Pac was that nigga at that time. Tupac, rest in peace, and rest in peace, Big. But Keith Murray didn't work with all the greats, you know. He was working with LL, working with Biggie. He worked with R. Kelly back when R. Kelly was popping. I know niggas hating on R. Kelly right now, but you can't knock the nigga catalog, you know what I mean? R. Kelly might have been one of the best, greatest artists of all times, you know what I mean? The nigga has some sick ways, but can't take it away from his artistry. He put in a lot of work. So, Keith Murray. Let me give you a little backstory on Keith Murray, you know what I mean? Keith Murray was blowing up big on the East Coast music scene, you know what I mean? I forgot to say one of his biggest hits is The Most Beautiful Thing in the World. That shit jumped it off. I know you probably ain't never heard of him. I don't even know his name, but you know that song, because it always gets played, it always gets radio play. It's like a classic. But anyway, he started off his career good, man, coming out the gate with a real hit single. Album did numbers, second album did numbers, Enigma. But then he went to prison, man. He got into some legal shit, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna touch on all the legal shit that he got into because they got a lot of interviews out with him talking about it, and a lot of other internet websites and channels didn't put that out. So I just want to let you know, yeah, he got locked up for a little bit, and that kind of killed his steam because he was on that rise, like, big time at that time. He was on that rise, but he got a real case, and he went away for a little bit. Then he came back out with an album called The Most Beautifulest Thing, because that's like his biggest record to put some more energy to that record and give it that shit more life. I mean, because when you got a big record and everybody know you for that, it's always a good idea to name your album that, you know what I mean, to try to tell them that, yo, this is like that shit I dropped back then, that classic shit, that's that whole album. And that album, man, to me, that's my favorite Keith Murray album, man. That album was hard, that album was classic. And that's when I was like, yo, I love this dude lyricism, you know what I mean? I was a major fan back then, you know what I mean? I bought that nigga old tapes off the strength of that one tape right there, off that one CD tape, whatever. But he had a good career. He put in a lot of other work. You know, he had a couple other albums came out after that. Just do your research, go check out the albums, you know, it's a good body of work in music. But back then when I was a young nigga and I was listening to him, I never thought that I would ever even meet him, let alone do a song with him. But when you put out that positive energy and you believe in something, man, you can manifest it, yo. Real talk. I'm here to tell you that you can definitely manifest some things in your life if you really believe in them. Don't get distracted by people not believing you, supporting you, or whatever the fuck, low-key hating on you, whatever, man. If you got your mind in the right place, you can do anything. For real. Big facts. All right, so Keith Murray, man. Me and him was following each other on Instagram, and I was like, damn, dude, follow me. But I think he started following me because I was working with Sadat X, another legendary hip-hop artist. And I'm going to get into that later and tell y'all another episode about how I got to feature a couple records off with Sadat X from Brand Nubian. But, so we've been going back and forth with each other on the internet, you know what I mean? I been liking his shit, he liking my shit. And then I start hitting him up in the inbox, just talking with him, saying, you know, you legendary, man. I just fuck with your style and whoop-de-whoop and everything like that. But then the more we got to talk, you know, when I told him I was from South Carolina, he was like, oh, shit, man, I used to live out there for a little bit. And I was like, for real? And it was near, like, some of the same areas where I used to live at, you know what I mean? Like the Hard Rock Park area over there and shit. You know what I mean? For people that know about the beach, I used to stay over there in the Hard Rock Park, you know what I mean? So we knew some of the same people. And that shit had shocked the fuck out of me because I never thought we would have even met, or I would have knew some of the same people he knew. But I knew some of the same people he knew. He was trying to get some shit out of a storage unit he had down here. And I was like, bet, you know what I mean? Just let me know what the address is, whoop-de-whoop. We're going to set that up, handle that for you, man. I'll go check on it. You know what I mean? And I did that. I went and pulled up and checked on it, but, you know, they already had sold his shit, real talk. But I still did it off the strength. It was Keith Murray. So we be going back and forth on the phone after that point. You know, he gave me his phone number after that. And after that, we started really talking on the phone and then talking about music. And he's a wild nigga, man. Like, Keith Murray's a wild nigga, man. He be there drinking mimosas every morning with breakfast, yo. Nigga be there going hard on the drinking, yo. That nigga drink hard, you know what I mean? But I like the way he is. And with his family, I think he's still rocking with his sister or whatever. I think she was on the phone. I heard her in the background when I was talking on the phone with him. The way they be fussing with each other, that shit is hilarious, you know what I mean? But I love that kind of shit from people, like a real dude, not no fake Hollywood shit. So we just kept on talking, going back and forth for a couple of months. And I was like, yo, I made this record in the studio called Catch a Vibe. And I was like, yo, I like the way I did this record. So I knew this record could be big. So first thing I did with the record was, you know what I mean, I got somebody from Philadelphia, Blind Beauty. Oh, she a local legend, but she dope as an artist. I hate to say local legend, but she like legendary in